All right, everyone, we got some breaking news here. Joe Rogan announcing that he has caught coronavirus. Joe Rogan being probably the most prominent anti-vaxxer and person who has tried to downplay coronavirus in every way, shape, and form, being anti-social distancing, anti-masking, and also anti-vaccine. So Joe Rogan went to Instagram to announce that he got COVID. He posted this video that says, "I got COVID, my apologies, but we have to move the Nashville show to Sunday, October 24. Much love to you all." Go ahead and check out the video now.
Hello, friends. So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house, and throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, Ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good. That's the good news. The bad news is we have to move the Friday show in Nashville. It's going to move to Sunday, October 24th. So that will be the new Nashville date. My apologies to everyone. Obviously, there's nothing that I can control. It is what it is. Crazy times we're living in. But a wonderful, heartfelt thank you to modern medicine for pulling me out of this so quickly and easily. And my love to all of you. Thank you. Bye.
So as you guys just saw in the video, Joe Rogan announced that he has caught coronavirus. Again, this is a viral story because he's one of the biggest anti-vax. Actually, no, he is the biggest anti-vaxxer in terms of prominence. So he's saying that he actually got it like 3 or 4 days ago, and he has used ivermectin as well as quote-unquote throwing the kitchen sink at it. He said that he essentially immediately knew that it was coronavirus when it happened. Something weird here, I don't know if this is an Instagram filter or why this happens, but you can see there's like a different shade here where it looks kind of like grayish even in the background, but then like it kind of turns to be lighter in the background too. So I don't know if that impacts like kind of the way he looks, but he doesn't look like particularly great, obviously. So it's always a question about how he feels. Now he's saying that, he had 3 days. He was able to bounce back. Now, the thing about coronavirus is a lot of times I think you'll bounce back after a couple of days, but then it'll come back. So you'll think you've recovered and then it comes back. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen with Joe Rogan. Certainly a possibility. My biggest question when it comes to this is whether or not Joe Rogan took the vaccine. I would imagine he probably did take the vaccine. Otherwise, I think he actually would have had a worse time with coronavirus than what he went through, because he was able to recover pretty quickly. Some people may say that it would be evidence he didn't take the coronavirus because the symptoms would have been even less. So it's unclear whether or not he's vaccinated. Obviously, back in January, he had said that he is not going to take the vaccine because he doesn't see a purpose in it. So again, downplaying coronavirus per usual. But, some people claim that he has said he's vaccinated without providing any evidence. Other people saying that he said that he hasn't taken the vaccine recently. Haven't seen any evidence of that either. The biggest evidence that I've seen is I've done videos on is him saying that he's not going to take the vaccine, but that was like 6-7 months ago. So I don't know what his status is right now. He says that he took ivermectin. Ivermectin is a dewormer. It's supposed to, I guess, kill parasites. There's ivermectin for humans and there's ivermectin for animals. The animal dosage is much higher than the human dosage. So there's a lot of people who are taking the animal dosage and then dying because you can't take too much of it. It's fatal. There appears to be very scant evidence a little bit of evidence apparently that ivermectin is supposed to help coronavirus, but it appears that I don't know if it's been peer reviewed, and I don't know if it's really legitimate or not. And then obviously that's a big deal right now because that's kind of the big buzzword that conservatives are using, conspiracy theorists are using. For some reason, they don't want to take the vaccine. They'd rather take non-FDA approved, medicines for coronavirus. But, the big deal was supposedly that the vaccine wasn't FDA approved, even though it was FDA approved. So, that's kind of what's going on. He's saying that he's taking a vitamin drip, which if you're sick, I guess taking a multivitamin can make sense if you're not eating the same way that you would do normally to eat healthy foods. Saying taking prednisone, which is kind of weird because I think prednisone is like an immune suppressant as well, so that's bizarre. It's like a steroid. He says Z-Pack, I think don't even know what that really has to do with viral issues. So he took a lot of different stuff, and he took the monoclonal antibodies, which is what Trump apparently got. But this is essentially, to my knowledge, they basically injected intravenously into your body, I think maybe even through multiple ports, and they basically inject the antibodies into your body, and it's supposed to help within the first 10 days of coronavirus. If you are able to get it within 10 days of getting coronavirus, it's supposed to help your symptoms. There appears to be some evidence, some preliminary data and evidence that works, and so the government's starting to take it more seriously. But as of right now, the practicality of it is extremely low because it takes half an hour to actually get it basically absorbed into your body to actually get it through. And you're also supposed to be watched by a doctor for like an hour after that, which just isn't practical. Doctors just simply don't have that kind of logistical time. The reason why they would have to watch you is to make sure that nothing bad like anaphylaxis occurs or something like that, some kind of bad reaction. So he took that. Obviously, if you were trying to do like a scientific experiment, which I'm not saying is what he was doing here, and you're trying to do a scientific experiment to see what things work for coronavirus, this would be the thing that you would not want to do because everybody knows in science experiments you have to change one variable. So you can't throw the kitchen sink. You'd have to change one and specifically take one thing to see that one thing and that only thing. But again, I'm not saying that that's what he was trying to do here. But he was down to throw the kitchen sink at coronavirus, but he was downplaying coronavirus the entire time, being anti-vaccine, being anti-mask, being anti-social distancing, all of this kind of stuff. And again, whether or not he was vaccinated appears to remain a question. I've not seen any real concrete statements or evidence to either side at this point. Again, it's not really 100% clear as to whether or not he's out of the woods just yet. Because again, lots of times people feel really good after a few days of coronavirus, and then they get hit like a tank right afterwards, and it kind of has like its own resurrection essentially. So you'd kind of have to see. We're gonna have to wait this out. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to escalate with Joe, of course, but it's entirely possible, to use a phrase from Joe himself, it's entirely possible that it could have a sort of resurrection. He's pretty old, I think. He's like, I don't know how old he is exactly. I want to say like 50, I think. So he's a pretty old dude up there. He's obviously done lots of HGH and steroids and stuff like that in his life. So, I don't know. We're going to have to see from here, but this is viral news. The video clip is 3.5 million views on Instagram already. The vaccine is obviously important. The efficacy of that is extremely, extremely high. He appears to have thrown the kitchen sink at it while downplaying all of the things that can mitigate coronavirus. So that is the news on Joe Rogan.